to invite Ms. Sarah Cambier from FIA headquarters to provide us with valuable inputs about this call. Sarah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Alexander. Thank you very much. I'm just going to share my screen with you so that you can see my PowerPoint that I prepared for everyone. So as Alexander just mentioned, I am Sarah Cambier and I'm responsible for the Startup Challenge at FIA Region 1. This is the second time that we organized this challenge, and the first edition was happened in 2019. I just would like to give you an insight of the structure of this presentation. I'm going to start with a timeline of the challenge. This will be followed by the application requirements. I will give some words on the Innovation Hub so that you will understand what is this website and what we use this for. I will then move on and discuss the categories that we opened for this 2021 challenge, and I will end with the win-win situation that this offers to the club and to the startups. So regarding the timeline of this challenge, the applications are now open and will be open until the 28th of February 2021. During this year, we also organized a panel of experts that are going to shortlist the startup that actually applied for this challenge. The process of selection will happen during the month of March. As you can guess, this is a time-consuming process, as for instance, in 2019, we actually received 67 applications. So we will have to basically do this process in March and April, and at the same time, we will put all the startups on the Innovation Hub. I will explain later what this has to do with the Startup Challenge. Regarding the startup that will be shortlisted, they will be invited to take part in an online event in May 2021. As you know, with the COVID situation, we currently can't have any physical events, so we will organize this online. We don't know yet if this will be divided into 3 different events regarding the 3 different categories that we have opened this year. But what we know is that this event will take place in 2 different parts. So the first one is about pitches. The startup will have the opportunity to pitch their ideas to the clubs. And in the afternoon, they will have the opportunity to attend one-to-one meeting with the clubs that interest them the most. So how this will happen, basically, startup will receive a form that they can fill in with the clubs that they really want to meet, and the clubs will do the same after the pitches, and we will make sure that you can meet together so that you will receive a link that will guide you to one-to-one meeting. The different clubs that attend those pitches, they will have the opportunity to vote for the startup they prefer. And the 3 winners of this challenge will then participate in our marketing workshop in October 2021. We still hope that this event will take place physically, but we don't know for sure yet. Regarding the application requirements, the only thing you have to do is basically have a proof of concept or prototype to apply to the Startup Challenge. And the second thing is that you have to fill in this form that you see here on my slide correctly. This form is on the Startup Challenge website, so it's fiastartup.eu. And it's really important that you fill this in correctly. Why? Because first of all, the selection is based on this form. So the more detailed is this form, the more chance basically you have to pass the first step. And second of all is that the Innovation Hub, where we will upload your profile, is also based on this form. So all clubs, we have more than 100 clubs that actually have access to this Innovation Hub website, and they will have access to your profile, and this profile will be based on the form that you have filled in. Regarding the Innovation Hub, I know that some of you probably had questions about this. This is basically a website that we have created 1 or 2 years ago, and that is exclusively designed for our member clubs. As you can see from my slide, this website is based on everything that has to do with innovation. So the first part is projects that are the projects from the club self. Then you have the blog, it's from the news. The startup part is the part that interests us today. Then the awards is based on projects from the club self. Excellence in advertising is also something that is just for the clubs, and webinars are about the webinars that we organize. So what I wanted to tell you today is that as from the moment that you fill in the form, it's already beneficial for you because your project will be uploaded on this platform, and all of our member clubs will have access to this platform and will be able to consult this. It's really important, and I know that it's important for club members because they already send me a bunch of emails asking for me to put this up to date, basically. So they're really waiting for those starter profile. Regarding this year categories, we decided to do 3 categories instead of 2. So in 2019, we only had 2 of them, the car and the star category. This year, we have the car, the mobility, and the assistance category. And based on the question that I'm going to ask to you now, you will know in which category you have to apply with your project. So regarding the cars category, if your project responds to the question, how can mobility clubs improve and innovate the use of cars? This is the category that you have to apply for. Basically, the core activity of our clubs since a long time has been cars, and they're always looking for new approaches for the driver, so ways to improve the use of car. Examples of project that could be from startups here are connected cars, eco driving, electricity driving, and road safety, for instance. Regarding the mobility category, if you have a project or a product that responds to the question, how can mobility clubs offer the consumer the best experience when moving around, and this does not imply the use of the car, this is for this category that you have to apply. Basically, nowadays, there are a large variety of transport options throughout the world, and it's difficult for everyone to always find the best option, the best transport option that fits her or his needs. All projects that could fit in this category are, for instance, car sharing, bike sharing, or MaaS. If you don't know what MaaS is, it's mobility as a service, and it's, for instance, application that actually gather all the transport options. So it would be an application where you would find like public transport, bike sharing, car sharing, and other transport mode. Regarding the last category, it goes over the assistance category. If you have a project that responds to the question, how can mobility clubs make lives easier outside cars and mobility, then your product should be for this category. This category is really broad and large. Our club's activity was mainly based on cars and mobility, but nowadays they're really extending the services they actually offer. And these services concern a great variety of services. So it can be home services like breakdown assistance. It can be health assistance. It can also be personal assistance like administrative tasks, so helping you with administrative tasks. It can be really broad. So basically, normally, if your project does not fit the 2 first category regarding cars or mobility, it should fit in this one. Finally, I wanted to explain to you a bit more about this win-win situation that our challenge offers to clubs and to startups. I know that it's sometimes hard to take the first steps and to actually apply because this form is kind of big and you have a lot of information to fill in. But as I already said, it's a first step toward benefits for your startup, because basically, as from the moment that you fill in that form, you will have your profile on the Innovation Hub and you will have access to 103 clubs. These benefits are also larger than this. The most you go through the process and the most you come close to the awards, so the winners, the most you benefit from the challenge. You will have access to a really large audience of consumer. For instance, our 103 clubs actually have a consumer audience of 36 million people. So it's really large and broad. Second of this, when you will go through the process and have the opportunity to actually meet those collabs and to have one-to-one meetings with them, you will also benefit from their expertise because they have been working in this field since so long that they have a really good expertise in this, and they can also give you some advice about your project and how to develop it. And finally, if you win the award and you get that prize, you can also have received some recognition from it because you will have the opportunity to say, yeah, we participated into this challenge and we won the FIA prize for the startup challenge. And just by stating that, and stating this name of FIA, you will receive some recognition. Regarding the class, because I said it also, it's a win-win situation. For them, it's really the opportunity to learn about your products and about innovative ideas and to find potential partners. I will talk about this later, but I think I will give back the floor to Alexander. And if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat and I will answer them later. Thank you very much.